Hi, we're the CANA girls. Today we're going to be talking about dating in our 30s. So sit back, relax and enjoy the show.
Let's get started.
Dating today in 2020, on top of coronavirus, I found it extremely difficult. Online dating's difficult, meeting people in public's difficult. Dating as a whole is turned a flip 180, and to me, I can't see any dating in sight for the foreseeable future at the moment. How are you finding it?
I was seeing someone, and obviously throughout Corona, I just sort of realised that that person wasn't really the person for me. So things didn't work out. I'm not actively looking, but I feel like the dating app is the only way that I'm going to find anyone. Because nobody's out because of Corona. And you can't really like mingle how you used to because of the coronavirus. You can only kind of go out in your bubble. So yeah, I don't really have like high expectations for finding anyone decent.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, I feel for us in our generation, dating apps are the main way to meet people. And the problem with dating apps is because there's so many people on there, it's accessible. I feel people don't take dating very seriously. Okay. And I feel like I'm in my 30s, so I am taking it a lot more seriously than I did in my 20s. And the men on there, because they can just quickly swipe on someone within the next minute, I feel like they're not taking it seriously. I have trouble meeting somebody who is actually serious. And I feel like a lot of men these days, well, the one I'm coming across is that they tend to prefer casual dating.
Why do you think that is?
I feel because there's so many options.
Yeah.
I feel men are feeling that they want to settle down later, and they're just trying to get a piece of every cake. Okay. I feel because there's so many options online, and I've had more serious offers when I was in my 20s.
Yeah. Compared
to my 30s, where you'd think people are more serious, but it's the opposite for me.
But I think in our 20s, online dating wasn't really a thing. People who did online dating, it was kind of like a secret thing. Like only weirdos go on the internet to date people and stuff like that. People had to go out and meet each other, whether it be at the club or a bar or something, or at the park, or even out and about. I mean, I found that I used to meet people a lot just out and about. Like just walking out and about, you kind of like meet people, you chat to them, or in our 20s, internet dating wasn't a thing, whereas now it is. So that's how everyone meets everyone virtually.
Yeah. Because I know people that have met their husbands, their girlfriends, long-term partners, long-time boyfriends, and they seem to have met people and it's been fine. But me, from my online dating experiences, I've met some people, I've done all the blind dating, and some of it's good, some of it's not, some of it has been absolute rubbish. It's the investigation, you have that initial chat, and then it's like, where do you go from here? And then you either meet or you don't meet, and it just sort of fizzles out, and it's just monotonous. I mean, I've had some successful ones where I've been on dates and had second time dates and things like that, but not gone any further.
So what do you think about the profiles that you see online when you do online dating? What is your general overall perception of the quality of the men that's available from their profiles?
Some of them are good. Some of them seem like they're approachable, but when you message, it's like you don't always get a reply. Some of the profiles are very specific about what they want, even though it's totally opposite to what they want. No jokes aside. Some of the quality is not that good, because I've had people say on there, oh, I'm white, Caucasian, I'm this and that, and they're blatantly black. And it's like, you're pointing it out to them, and they go, what does it matter? I said, what does it matter? You're lying straight off. So how can you make a judgment of who that person is? I mean, you can talk to... I've spoken to some guys that you can have a good full-on conversation, but then they have good goals, they have good things, but sometimes it doesn't really match up to what they're saying online to their personality as you're talking to you. I don't know if this because they changed because it's not what they want, or I don't know if they've changed because the truth is coming out. Some of the quality is good, some of the quality is not so good. I've had guys talk to you in a different country and it's been better and they seem more serious, but because of the distance it creates problems. But some of the quality is not that great.
Sometimes I don't read the profiles. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I don't even bother reading them because I feel like some guys will write a full, the full description of how they are, who they are, what they want, they're this, they're that. When you actually start to talk to them, you know that what they've written on there is a load of crap. I do sometimes, but sometimes I don't bother reading them. I kind of have a chat and see. I mean, I'm not gonna reply back to you if you message me hey or sup. Like that's just not.
No way.
I'm just not gonna respond to you if you write to me sup. If someone takes the time out to write, because I actually as well, to be honest, if when on dating apps, I actually don't search. I have people message me, and if I feel like initially from the picture that I'm attracted to them, then I'll go ahead and have a look at the profile, check age, all that kind of stuff, and then if they've written something, I'll have a read of it. But usually I don't actually go and search and read profiles and then message or anything like that. I usually just go by who's messaged me. Like you were saying, Natalie, what they write and what they say or whatever, what they do is two different things. So I find it. I don't really read the profiles.
I find the profiles to be trash.
Yeah.
They are so disappointing to me. Even the ones that are trying to be serious are still disappointing. The things that they write, a lot of them are quite negative. Oh, I don't want girls with no drama. I don't know why you would put that on your profile, because if you put something negative, I don't want girls with no drama or anything like that, or I don't like girls that watch Love Island or something like that I've seen. If you put something like that on your profile, it makes you seem judgmental.
Yeah.
It makes you seem like you have a lot of drama in your life.
Exactly.
Since you've had so many girls that's had drama. So I get that, and then I also get guys, they always write, I want a girl that doesn't take themselves too seriously. And it's like, I don't find that attractive, like somebody not taking themselves seriously.
Yeah.
If you're in your 30s and you're not taking yourself seriously,
That's a bit of a disgrace.
what are you doing?
Exactly.
So I hate when guys write that. I hate when they try to joke in their profile and it's not funny. The common joke that I see is something like, I want to leave the single market before the UK leaves. And I've seen that a million times.
What?
It's like, please.
I've
be
never
original.
seen that.
Be original, please.
Be original.
And that's just the profiles. And then the actual messages, hey babe, I'm not replying to that. Hi sexy, hi beautiful. I'm not applying to anything like that.
I just feel like they're one-liners to get you to chat.
No.
And then it just doesn't work. It's just
All
like,
the
you're
ones
not
that are
making an effort.
blatantly, obviously copy and pasted.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, I saw your profile, it was very intriguing. I think you're a very interesting person. You're very... All of this nonsense, yeah. I really think we should be friends. I think we'll be, great pals. Please send me a message. Best regards, Richard. And you know for a fact he's copy and paste that to 20 other girls.
Exactly.
Do you think I'm down?
I must admit, with the responses, it's really difficult to reply to sort of start off a conversation. Because when I joined Bumble once, I found it really difficult. Because as a woman, speaking to a person is very difficult.
How does Bumble work?
Bumble works.
The woman has to initiate the conversation.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't like it.
I don't think I'd be able to do that.
Really hard. I didn't like it.
But I don't expect much. I don't mind if a guy said, hi, how are you? I really liked your profile. What are you up to tonight? Not to go out, but how are you today?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
Because that's normal.
Yeah.
I don't need anything extravagant.
How are you going to call me hi, babe, hi, sexy?
I don't
even know you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what we have to bear in mind is, and I watched a very interesting thing on YouTube about men and how men date. And this guy was saying, he went, all men, there's no exception for this. This is a guy saying it. All men, their first initial thing when they're looking for someone to date is, how soon can I have sex with you? So that's why you get the hey sexies or all those stupid things, because they're trying to gauge whether or not you're going to be into or how quickly I'm going to be able to sleep with you. the only thing is afterwards comes the kind of, oh, like, I would like to get to know you, blah. Because what happens is when they get you with that hi babe kind of thing, and you respond straight away, it's like, okay, so now how quick can I get this person out, and how quick can I get her and get in her knickers? Literally, and that's what the guy said. He said that is what it is.
Who is this guy? 'Cause I need to
I'll
listen
put
to
a
him.
link. I'll send you the link because he said it, and that's what he said. And he said the way that what you have to do as a woman approaching that situation is set the boundaries straight away. So clearly state, listen, I'm not looking for anything casual. If you are, I'm not interested. If they still continue to pursue it, still bear in mind the fact that they are still trying to see how quickly they can have sex with you. But perhaps in the time it takes for them to get to that point, they are starting to get to know you. And then that's when the like comes in, and then you start to form that kind of thing that develops into a relationship. But off the jump, especially on dating apps, it's like, okay, how can I get in there?
Yeah, I mean, if I think about the last boyfriend I had, who I met on a dating app, and how we got talking, he never said hi sexy or anything like that. He just responded to a comment I made on my profile, and we made a conversation about that. It was about food. And we made a conversation about that, and then he laid it on to say, oh, well, how about I take you out for some food? And to me, that's normal.
Yeah.
And it just seems like someone who actually wants to date. But the high sexy thing, it's crossing boundaries.
I just don't understand how guys don't understand. Just be, but then again, it's not their fault.
Someone must respond to
that's
it.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I was just about to
exactly,
say
yeah.
that it's not their fault because there are women out there who are okay with that and are happy with hey sexy. Oh, he called me sexy. Do you know what I mean? So. That's where they're getting the guts to think that every girl likes that nonsense or every girl will respond to that. And on top of that, even if you're like, well, I mean, how do you even know I'm sexy? Those might not even be. I said that once to a guy. I said, how do you know I'm sexy? These probably aren't even my pictures. You don't know, and you're saying I'm sexy. Well, are they your pictures though? So you're a catfish, yeah?
Oh,
you're
wow. Calm down.
I've had abuse. I've had abuse.
Yeah,
No, I've had abuse, yeah.
Because I've said, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I got abused. Like, I'll tell you a story. So, I was on POF and a guy messaged me and he, first of all, I knew he wasn't who he said he was because he had one picture and the picture was blurry and it was like someone had cropped the picture out of something and then used it. So, I could just tell that it wasn't who it was messaging me. So he messaged me like, oh, hi, sexy, how are you? Like, oh, how would you like to be with Big Daddy? Blah, blah, all that kind of stuff. Usually,
Daddy.
yes. Usually I ignore stuff like that. But today I was like, do you know what? Let me not be rude. Let me message back and say, oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not really interested. I got abused. This guy completely and utterly insulted my existence. Yeah. Based on the information that I put on my profile. So I blocked him. Do you know what he did? He deleted his account, created a new account, found me and messaged me again.
Say what?
And then abusing me. And then I blocked him on that second account. He deleted that. He did it 4 times. He deleted the
How
account.
have you got that much effort to be doing that?
All because I told him, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. I've had abuse.
That's insane.
I've also had people messaging me telling me they're going to pay me money to do things. I've had people...
Yeah, like that.
Seriously.
I even had this guy message me and said to me, oh, how about we go out for a nice meal, aka Weatherspoon's KFC. Then he said to me, how about I watch a movie at my yard and I can give you 2 Oyster card bus passes to get home. How disgusting and vile. I think that's to me. And then I messaged him and said, you got a cheek, and they said, listen, I wasn't really that interested, I just went to get hoo-hoo. But
See?
it's just pure. Why would you talk to someone like that?
Because he's talked to a girl like that and she's agreed. Oh, KFC. Oh, and you're going to give me an Oyster card to get home.
KFC,
That's
I can buy it
amazing.
myself.
What are we, 15? I don't understand.
Okay, so we've talked about the online dating side of things. What about the actual dates? Have you been on like really good?
I've been on some good fair dates, and I've been on some what the hell am I doing here dates, and one date really pissed me off. Well, I missed my last train home. That was the limit for me. But yeah, I've been on some alright ones.
What happened on that date?
Oh, I'd met this guy in Stratford and he just wasn't what I thought he was.
Did he look like his pictures?
Just... Yeah, he did, but in a way. And then, like, he was going on to say about his last relationship, and it was just all the baggage about how his girlfriend cheated on with his brother and the cousin, and she had a baby and it wasn't his baby. It was just too much drama.
Gosh.
And then we went for drinks and it was just like, he had this drink sitting on the table. I think it was Bloody Mary with a lemon sitting in it. It was making me feel sick sitting there looking at this drink. I mean, who goes on a date and buys a Bloody Mary with Worcestershire sauce on your breath? It stinks. And all I could think of, I need to go. I need to get out of here. So anyway, towards the end of the day, and I thought, I'll get the train home. Bloody list, my bloody train home. I was right pissed off.
How about you? Have you been on good dates or bad?
No, like recently, because I haven't gone on many dates because the quality has been so bad, I haven't had any terrible dates. But when I was younger, I had a date with this guy. This was all the way back in 2006. When I was at uni. Or was it 2005, I think. And then there was this song that was out called Laffy Taffy.
Oh God.
Anyway, so this guy, he was dressed like, do you know how Kanye West used to dress back in the old days, that preppy thing with sometimes they wear a tie and this the shorts and stuff.
Did he have white songs?
And he had Converse and these sunglasses. It was terrible. And then he turned up to the date like that, and I was embarrassed already, and I was like, how am I going to survive? And then he turned his phone on and played the Laffy Taffy song loud in front of everybody without headphones. And the Laffy Taffy. And he started like dancing to it in public, and I was so embarrassed. I was absolutely embarrassed, but I felt like I couldn't get out of it because he was friends with some of my flatmates. Okay. So I felt like I had to like be polite. Like I couldn't just ditch him. So anyway, he was meeting up back at my house because his friends were there because he's friends with my flatmates. So he came back to mine, and then I still had more time with him, and he wanted to spend more time. So we watched the movie, and then I watched Mean Girls, which is my favorite movie. And then he started like rewinding parts and laughing at it, go, oh my goodness. And he kept rewinding it, and I was so annoyed. Like, how dare you? And in the end, he knew how annoyed, because I find it hard to like hide when I'm annoyed. And then he was like, "You want me to go, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah." And then he left.
Oh my God.
And that's the worst date I've ever had in my life.
I think the worst date I went on, this was a few years ago actually. So I went on a date with this guy. We went out to dinner. He was a nice guy. He looked like his pictures. He was, my type, tall kind of thing. Anyway, very nice looking guy. We went on a date. We went to dinner. We ordered the food. He was like, "Oh, order whatever you want, don't worry." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." So I ordered what I wanted, and we ate and we chatted. We had some wine and stuff like that. Then the bill came. And obviously, I knew that he said he was going to take care of everything. I had my money with me, but he said that he was going to take care of it all. The bill came, and I think it was about like maybe 50 something pounds. This guy pulled out coins from his pocket and was plumping pound coins, 20p's, 5p's, like from those machines that in the arcade. He was pulling out, and I sat there and I was like, what the hell? He was like, "Oh yeah, wait, I've got 5p, hold on." I was just like, he put 50, I think it was £52 something the meal came to. In coins.
How embarrassing.
On the thing.
You paid the bill. I'm not saying
you can't even see my face.
I think that's disgusting.
No, I was mortified. I was like, "Oh, right, I'll pay on my card." He goes, No, I've got it. Hold on, wait. I've got 5.
It's just embarrassing.
Digging in his pockets to get the change to pay. Safe to say, I didn't see him again.
Oh, I would never.
But I think that was my worst date, and I felt so bad for the waitress. Who had to come and collect like that little tray thing full of coins. And it wasn't like, okay, it could have been like £2. It was £1 coin, 50p, 20p, 10p, 5p, 2p, 1p. Like, change. Like he was a flipping bus driver.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
I think the only worst date I've been on with a guy, well, it's not a worst date, but it's probably, let's just say, didn't actually go on the date. turned up the trousers back to front. Now, if you can't get yourself dressed, just forget it.
I remember being in, like, getting caught in an awkward situation, which I thought was very strange. So I was much younger here, and obviously now thinking back, I wouldn't have done it, but I was younger, so I was like, okay, whatever, thinking. Anyway, so this guy asked me to go out, and I was like, okay, cool. He goes, oh, meet me at mine, and then we'll go from mine to wherever we're going. So I met him at his house. I go in now, I sit down in the living room, and I'm sitting there, and he's kind of like faffing about, doing whatever. I don't know what he was doing. So I'm sitting down waiting. I'm thinking, okay, are we going to go? So he comes in and sits down on the chair, and he's like, oh yeah, we start chatting. So how was your day been? I was like, I'm fine, but I'm thinking, are we going? Then his friend walks into the room. What? And his friend was like, oh, can I join you guys?
What?
And I was like, what?
Oh my God. What is that?
Obviously, what's going on here? And he was like, oh, like, this is my friend. I'm like, hey, like, what do you think is going on over here?
Exactly.
I'm going. And I literally left, but that could have been a situation that could have turned really ugly. So yeah, that was my younger days in my naivety.
Never will I do that.
No, hell no.
I mean, I've done it myself, but I would never put myself in a situation. No way.
Hell no.
Oh my God. I had a recent predicament. This is going back before the date. I have problems getting to the date because I get so annoyed by the conversation that happens before the date that I cancel it or I just block them. So my most recent situation is I was talking to this guy. And I've spoken to loads of guys who say that they're investors or investment bankers. And I think they kind of tell you that to, like, impress you or something. Yeah. And they always say to me, I'm going to teach you investing.
Okay.
Oh, and they never do. It's just an in to, like, try and like, impress me. Or they see it as a way for you to be dependent on them because you want to learn something from them. I'm not really interested in investments, but I just think, okay, it's interesting, teach me. So I told him, I don't mind learning, but I also said to him that other guys have said it to me and they've not taught me anything. And there's no evidence that they're actually good at what they do. And he was like, no, seriously, I want to teach you. So he told me to download. No, he sent me a link to a website. That's what he did. And he told me, just to sign up to this investment website. And I'm smart. So to me, I'm just not happy to do that. Especially if someone has sent me a link. I'll sign up to the website like from my own phone, from my own app. So what I did is I looked up the website and the name was genuine. But it had... SC at the end of the website domain name.
Which was the one that he sent you.
Yeah.
Right.
So I thought, okay, that's a bit odd. It doesn't have that on the other ones. I mean, it could be totally legit. But I said, if I'm going to download it, I'm going to download it from the App Store, not his link. And I've seen loads of, like, scam sites and all that. So I know, like, he could have been in, like, a scam ring or something and wanted me to sign up to something that is a fake website. So I downloaded my own version of it. And then he was being cagey about meeting. He was like, I just want to be really good friends first and get to know you. Why would you go on a dating site to be friends and get to know? That's not why we were on there. And I said, well, I'd like to see you, to see that you're a real person. And so can we meet next week? And he was like, I might be going to Liverpool. And when he started all of that, I was like, all right, this is not real, whatever. And then I said to him, I'm sorry, I really do want to learn about what you do, but I'm not going to learn about it until I meet you and see that you're a legit person. And he just went off on me. He was like, oh, yeah, this is why no man could ever teach you investing. I'm like, are you actually serious? I said, would you advise that your sister start getting to know a guy that she's never met and do investments with him? I said, and he was like, oh, doesn't matter. Forget it. Block me. Yeah. And I'm like, really? How immature do you have to be? So it feels like when women take precautions and look after themselves, men get really angry about that.
They're made to feel like idiots for doing that.
Yeah, as if I was being really unreasonable. But why would I do something serious, like financial stuff, with a man that I don't know?
Exactly. That I mean, that's just you using your discernment. But because, like I said, there are females out there that are falling for that nonsense, for that okie doke. And how dare you question him when his tactics have worked before?
Yeah.
That whole thing, and I think men too, that whole thing that they try to do, where another thing that I hate that they do is, obviously when you're talking to someone and you've been talking to them for a while and you've been on a couple of dates, and then you kind of try to figure out, okay, when should things be intimate? And then when you feel like you're not ready to do that, I hate this phrase, and I will forever hate it. And once a guy says it to me, I'm done. Oh, you know, we're both adults, you know, we're adults.
God.
I'm like, really? Yes, I'm an adult and I'm exercising my right as an adult not to have sex with you.
Yeah.
How about that?
Exactly.
Yeah. But they feel like when they say that to you, then you're gonna start feeling like, oh, like am I being prudish? Am I acting immature? No. If you're not ready to do anything, you're not ready to do anything. Period.
Yeah.
No one should pressure you. But that line, once a guy says that to me,
Yeah.
see you later. Bye. Next.
Yeah. I've had a guy.
How dare you say that to me?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I am an adult, and I'm deciding I don't want to sleep with you. Now, what are we going to do? What's next?
Is that being an adult, just sleeping with any
Yeah,
random person?
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know what they think they're going to achieve by saying that. That's just going to piss me off. Oh, okay. I'm going to prove to you that I'm a grown-up. Come on, let's shag. Really? Does that even work?
What I've learned through online dating is that men are very sensitive and emotional.
They
say
are.
We're emotional. They cannot handle the
Babies.
slightest bit of criticism
Yeah, no.
They can't.
or the slightest bit of where you say no to them.
But they want to criticize you from head
Yeah.
to toe, but don't you dare open your mouth and say anything about them. Oh.
If you say no to them, they take it so offensively, and it's insane what
Because
I've
there are a
encountered.
lot of children men or children boys or what do they call them?
Man-child.
Man-child. There are a lot of men-child out there.
Yeah.
Men-children.
Yeah.
There are a lot of men-children out there
Yeah.
who literally got to the age of 17 and their brain stopped growing.
Why is a grown man in your 30s, why can't you understand that a woman might not want to invest in a relationship with you if she hasn't met you? Why is that? Why is that?
Why is that so hard
such
for them
a
to
hard
grasp?
concept? Oh, didn't want to have sex with you when she doesn't know you very well.
And like, if we say this, oh, you're being bitter, you're bitter black one. This is why. Let's now let me go to the race part. I've had people say, see, this is why like we don't date black girls because you guys are like too stush. No,
It's
if
not about
I
being
don't want to
stush.
open my legs to you, that's my prerogative. That's got nothing to do. That's my body. I'm making a decision not to have you infringe on my rights as a person. So what has that got to do with the colour of my skin? But I've had men say that to me. See, this is why black guys don't date black girls because like you guys are just too much work, man. Too much work.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's the main problem. They don't want to work. They don't want to do. They're lazy. They want the easiest option.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and they get angry that you weren't an easy prey.
ridiculous.
I mean, talking to a lot of women, a lot of them are initiating contact with men. Which is fine if you want to do that. Like on Bumble, you have to do that. But it's not something that I like to do because I guess I'm traditional in that sense.
Yeah.
I just feel like relationships flow better when a man is the one who's kind of doing a bit of the chasing in the beginning.
Yeah.
When it's a woman, I just feel a kind of imbalance. A couple of times I've messaged the man first and it didn't feel right. And I felt like the man wasn't that interested. He was just kind of going along with it.
Exactly, yeah.
So I just...
Because I feel like they've not initiated.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, let her chase me because I'm not that bothered kind
Yeah.
of thing. Well,
We've also got to remember as well with men, their sort of primal instinct is to chase.
Yeah.
So you are I don't think with an app like Bumble, I think that having the women chase the men, I know it's like, oh, you know, women have now got the say so as to who to talk to, but I agree with you, Ashley. Like whenever I've initiated something with a guy, it's just never worked out.
works.
It's never gone anywhere because the guys felt like, well, this is a bit too easy.
Yeah.
Like, there's
and
no work involved.
They weren't interested in you in the first place because they didn't. Because even the shyest guy will find ways to show you that they like you.
Yeah.
So if you're initiating as a woman, usually the guy's not interested and he's going, with the flow and to see if he can get maybe sex out of it, and that's it. And I never feel comfortable initiating, but a lot of women do initiate. So guys are writing on their profile, oh, drinks on me if you message me first and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, what the heck? Unfortunately, men like that will still get girls when they don't deserve it.
And they'll treat the girls like crap.
Yeah, you get a lot of men saying that they want women to initiate. But they don't, really. They just want to be lazy.
That's it, they just want to put the work in.
They don't want to put any work in. And that's an automatic turn off for me if they expect me to take the initiative. And then after that, when you even get to the date, you get women who pay.
On the first date.
No.
What are your thoughts on?
No. my thought immediately is no.
But would you pay? Okay, but would you pay? Okay, so let's say you meet a guy, you're going on a date, and then the bill comes and he's kind of looking at you like, yeah, the bill's here.
Then we're gonna look at each other for a very long time. It's really awkward.
Well, I try to have a conversation and I say, I'll find out. I'll try and gauge them whether they're going to be like that or not. Obviously, make sure I have my own. But I try and gauge them. And if they bring up the conversation and say, oh, well, I've done it when I've paid half. But I've had a few dates before that. But then I do initially... I'll just talk about it. I mean, I've even spoken to a guy and he said to me, well, because I've invested so much in other people, my rule is to date half and half.
So other people have ruined it for you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so if I go on a date with a guy and if the bill comes and he's looking at me like, I'll pay, but don't ever call me or contact me ever again in your life.
Yeah.
I will pay because I will never, I'm not one of them girls that will go on a date and not carry my bank card or cash. I always have my money with me to pay. And I will always go to like I'm gonna pay and I'm waiting for the guy to be like, no, it's alright, I've got it, right? Because that's usually how it goes.
Yes.
But if I'm going to pay and you're looking at me and twiddling your thumbs.
We're acquaintances now.
And I pay.
That's it.
I'm going my way, you're going your way. Do not. Oh, how did you get home? Okay, you better piss off because by the time I get on the train, I'm out. You're blocked. Don't contact me. Don't call me. Don't text me.
Because
are you okay?
It's chivalry. But the also thing is, you know, this whole thing of paying. I've noticed that guys just want coffee dates or small little dates, small little drinks, so they have to pay.
Or park date.
Like, you know, a cheap date, so they have to pay too much. But as a woman, as a woman in my 30s, I feel that we're at the prime age where actually you should be earning a bit more money now and you should be supporting yourself. So why the hell are you going on dates if you don't want to pay?
I don't think men should be dating if you can't afford to date.
No, you shouldn't.
If you can't afford to pay for 4 dates or 3 dates consecutively, you shouldn't be dating.
It's true.
And that's the truth of it.
Yeah.
Because dating costs money.
It does.
It's you invest time, you invest money, and you invest energy because you're investing that in a person that you're hoping will develop into something serious.
Because let's face it, as a woman and a man, when you're preparing for, you've got to prepare your dates. Remember, it's your clothes, it's your shoes, your outfit, your lipstick, your makeup, your hair. It's all of that.
Yeah. It's a whole prep.
You know, some people turn up looking like trash, but some people are okay. But
majority of the people who go on dates make an effort, especially on the women's end, kind of stuff to give the best first impression. So if I'm going through all this trouble
for coffee,
good for you, one day, and you're twiddling your thumbs when the bill comes, don't call me again.
Exactly.
And I don't do coffee date. Don't even ask me. Don't even ask me. No. Oh, you want to go meet up for Starbucks for coffee? No.
I say no. I don't like coffee.
I had a guy tell me, oh, do you want to go on a quarantine date? I was like, I said, how are we going to do that? Well, we can meet up in the park and I'll buy you a cornetto. I was like, no, thank you.
And I bet he thinks that's romantic.
No, thank you. I don't want it.
He'd even offer you a proper picnic, like he'd buy food and put it in the basket. He said he was going to buy me
a cornetto ice cream.
I had a guy say, oh, we can meet for a walk in the park. And I said, no, I'm not dating during a lockdown because that's not exciting to me. I'm not a dog. Yeah, I'm not taking me for a walk in the park. No, it's not going to happen.
And you know, they probably ask innocently, but then thinking about it, you know, you are walking a dog. You can walk a dog. They might not think about it, but like that's how it is.
And I'm not having a picnic with you unless we're 10 dates in.
Exactly. That's it. The more you think about it, the light dates, it's like, you know, don't offer to date if you can't afford it. It's true.
Shouldn't be dating if you can't afford
Most
to date.
Most people can afford it. It's just low investment because back to the app situation, they're probably planning to go out with loads of girls. Yeah. Maybe some in the same day. So why would you pay for 3 dinners when you can just take people for coffee?
Yeah.
So why would I be then attracted to low investment? Mm-hmm. Why would I think this is an attractive trait in a man? And men will counter this by saying, oh, women just go out just for food. And some women do.
Yeah, some women are rinsers. Some women will... They seek out men to take them out because they're hungry and they want to eat and they want to drink and they want to, you know. And I understand where some men are coming from when they say that they don't want to. But you should be able to differentiate between a woman who is using you for food and someone who actually genuinely wants to get to know you.
Yeah.
If you can't differentiate between the two, then again, you shouldn't be dating.
But the other thing is as well, gauge. That's why you should talk to the person you're dating.
Yes.
Because if you know the person, let's just face it. If you go on a man and you know if they're into designer, you can tell by the picture and the things that they say, especially as a woman as well. You must know a woman, if she's into certain things, if she's into a Gucci, a designer, or she's saying that she's been to these expensive places, you kind of know, actually, this is going to be expensive. Let's not do this, or let's do this. From what they say, where they usually go. You know, Nando's might be like a cheap date for someone. You know,
for Nando's, that's the best date you could ever take them on.
Exactly, that's affordable. But, you know, Gilgamesh and all these fancy... these fancy restaurants
STK.
in London, STK, or them fancy restaurants that you need
The
to
Shard.
know exactly. You know, they know that's expensive. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. If that's where they've been, then you should know.
What would you say to a guy that says, "But can't you get to know me in a walk in the park? Why do you have to go on a dinner date to get to know me?"
No, because I feel that's not investing. You're not properly investing your time to get to know somebody. Why should you go to a walk in the park? You can talk to someone, but that's not investing.
I have hay fever. I can't walk in the park.
That's not investing the time. They've not made that virtual comment effort.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's effort. Women are attracted to effort,
Yeah.
and knowing that you're just taking me to Starbucks, it's not effort. I could buy Starbucks by myself, and I can have it with my friends, and I have a better time with my friends. So
I wouldn't mind if it was like 5 dates in and let's go meet up for Costa.
I don't even mind paying.
Yeah,
like 6
that's
dates
fine.
in, I don't mind paying. But your first few dates, you've got to put some effort in.
Yeah. Coffee's like, oh babe, I ain't got time today, but let's just meet up for a quick coffee, half an hour, I can fit you in. That's it.
That's after like a couple of months of dating a person, not the first date. I just think it's a bit of a liberty, to be honest. If you want to go on a date with a girl the first day, you want to take her to flipping Costa or Starbucks.
But the other thing I don't like about some of the dating is, when they say, oh, I'll take you out, let me know where you want to go. No.
I hate that too.
No.
Oh, I hate
Where
that.
do you want to go? Where can we go? No, you've not made the effort to plan. You want to take me out because you want to get in my knickers, but you don't want to plan the day either.
Yeah,
That's a bloody cheat.
I make them book it.
I
I recently encountered a woman in her 40s who booked the date. I was thinking, are you crazy?
But why would she book the date?
She thought of the place and booked the date for them.
No.
No.
I recently met someone a couple of weeks ago out when we opened from lockdown, and he was all chatting and good, and then he was like, I said to him, recently, we're gonna blah blah, and he was like, how are you finding coronavirus? I don't believe in coronavirus, whatever. So I thought that was another red flag. Then he said to me, I'll take you out. When do you want to go out? And I said, well, there's not much places open because of coronavirus. So if you can find somewhere, it's up to you where you want to go. Why am I going to invest my time if you can't be bothered? And you're not even considering that I think that coronavirus is a real thing. Why should I plan a date? What are you doing?
Men are really annoying.
They can find somewhere. If they wanted to go with their friends away, perhaps they're not planners, but as a rule, as a dating, you have to make an effort.
Listen,
you have to plan where you want to go.
I've been in a relationship with a guy that's not a planner, but when we first started dating, our first 4 dates, he organised them, and it was dinner, and then we went to a bar. Like, it was a full organised date. That is the only reason we ended up getting into a relationship, because he made a lot of effort in the beginning. And so
they should.
It's like, I see it as you're trying to put your best foot forward and make a good impression. In a job interview, would you go with your most slobbiest clothes, tell the interviewer, I can't really be bothered? You wouldn't behave like that in a job interview. You'd want to make the best impression, so you will say, I'm the best man for the job. And it's like that with dating. You want to put your best impression forward. As a woman, I'm not going to go on my date looking like a slob, because that is not the best part of myself.
Exactly.
So, I'm sorry. And I think women and men offer different things. But I think there's a deeper philosophical question here, because from online and reading a lot of things what men say online, there's this sense that men feel now that they don't really need women. So they're thinking now, what is the point of women? Like, if you're not going to pay half on a rent, pay half for the day, what is the point of you? And they really get this sense that we should be 50-50 in those kind of things.
Or
like,
did they give birth to the children?
Economics, yeah, exactly. So they think, and it comes back to the point that I feel like women in some ways, we're in a worse situation than we were in like the 1940s. Because in the 1940s, you may have been under your husband's control, but at least a lot of the times you weren't working and you could look after your children. Now we are working, we are having children and doing most of the childcare, doing most of the chores, paying 50-50 on rent. We are doing everything now.
Yeah. And I think that you've hit the nail on the head of what the actual problem is.
Yeah.
Women, and it's not a bad thing, but it is what it is. Women have become so independent. And as much as men are thinking, well, what good is it for women? Women are also thinking, well, I don't need a man to do that. I can do it myself. So there's been a kind of I don't know what the word, like a shift in how the opposite sex interact now. And it's all, what can I get out of this situation on both ends? It's how are you going to benefit me? And that's all it is. And if I can't see how you're going to benefit me, then I don't want anything to do with it. Rather than genuinely trying to form bonds with people.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I find that people in later life, so 50 onwards, when they've been doing all this nonsense and start realising that actually I want a companion, I need some companionship, are the ones that are finding those solid relationships and being in happy, normal, matured adult relationships. I feel like for us in our 30s, mid-30s, 40s, we are going to struggle.
What would you say to a man who would say, well, if you're not cooking all day for me, if you're not cleaning up the house all day, then what good are you?
But what's stopping you from doing it?
Why should I pay for the date then, since you're not doing the
But what's stopping you
stuff?
from cooking and cleaning the house?
Well, they might think, well, if you want...
Why do I have to do that?
If you want traditional dating where the man pays, why don't you clean the house? Why don't you cook for
I
me?
clean my own house. I cook for my own self. if you're lucky enough to come and taste my food, I'll cook for you.
Yeah.
But I'm not obliged to do that because I also have to work. Like you were saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the how men and women are now has changed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not every day that I have to be slaving over the stove and cooking because I have to go to work. If you're off, you can cook for once. If you're off, hoover.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you less of a man.
I hate when men say, what do you bring to the table?
What do you
yeah,
bring to the flipping table?
exactly.
I am the table.
Yeah.
See,
What
that's
do
they
you
say.
bring?
What do you bring?
About what do you bring to the table? We are the table.
Most women...
The banquet table. The high table. We are the table.
If we look at most traditional relationships, not every relationship's the same, but most women, probably 90% of women want to have a child.
Yes.
Most men want to have a child. And as a woman, you are risking your life giving birth to that child. You are responsible for that child. A man can just run off and leave the child. You are like responsible for that child. I'm sorry, there's no greater sacrifice than that. And when you've had the child, a lot of the time you have this responsibility. Say if you and the guy break up, it's harder for you to date because you have the child.
Exactly.
A lot of the time you may have like physical issues or things going wrong with your body because you've had a child.
Yeah.
And we make those sacrifices, and sorry, that doesn't compare to your coffee date or your £50 restaurant meal.
I know it's not as black and white as that,
Yeah.
but Ashley has a brilliant point.
Exactly, it's true.
Women, not everybody can give birth to kids and
most.
survive.
Exactly.
Having a child, carrying a baby to term and giving birth is one of the most dangerous things you could ever do as a
of course.
woman. How many people in the villages die giving birth to babies because of blood loss
Exactly.
or because of infection? It is one of the most dangerous things you could ever do. Not to mention the flipping pain. Yeah? They want to cry because they've got kicked in the balls. It's worse than being kicked in the balls.
Exactly.
And the emotional trauma.
It is a whole lot. So when they talk about, what do you bring to the table, what do you do, blah, blah, blah. If you want me to carry a child for you and give birth to a child for you, like you said, that's the ultimate sacrifice. You better take me on a day and show me that I'm your queen and your world.
And you don't want to pay for a date.
Ridiculous.
And even if you decide not to have children, women have to undergo so much emotional labour from men. We have to listen to them, which we still are expected to run the majority of the household and do most of the chores. So a lot later in life, in a relationship, those are the sacrifices women have to make. So why can't you make the sacrifice in the beginning? And you have the audacity to take her to Starbucks. And I think it's just there's not much value placed on womanhood now. I feel like womanhood, femininity, there's not a lot of value placed upon it. It's like, if you do anything feminine, it's like, what is the point of that? Well, masculine traits are valued. So for example, if you're like, yeah, I'm the big boss, or yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, that's valued in life now. But anything feminine, I'm an empathetic person, I'm supportive, I'm a good listener. Oh, look, I made effort in the way that I look today. That's trash.
Yeah.
So,
and we as women as well, we don't own womanhood anymore.
No,
we don't. It's something that is slowly being taken away from us. What we feel as, like you're saying, being feminine or effeminate, or those dainty little things, like you say, looked down upon. We don't own what it is to be a woman. It's sort of being torn apart and dismantled now.
Yeah. What would you say to a man who says, well, you feminist bitches wanted that, so you got it?
Well, I'm not a feminist.
Yeah, I'm not feminist.
I'm not a feminist.
So what part of feminism don't you believe, or not?
All of it.
All of it.
I don't think it's anything. I don't think feminism benefits me as a black woman. So I don't.
No.
I don't ascribe to feminism at all.
But what about rights to vote, rights to
I think yes.
own your own property?
I think yes. As a woman, you should have the right to own your own property. You should have the right to vote. But that doesn't make me a feminist, though.
So you say you're not politically feminist, but you believe in some sort of equality.
Yeah, obviously. I do. I believe there should be I think there's another word for what I think. It's definitely, it's not feminism though, but I will find out the word of it. But yeah, I think women should have the right to own a property, etc., etc. I wouldn't say I'm a feminist though. How about you? Are you a feminist?
I don't think I am. I agree that some of the things for feminism, like politically, women should have things and all that, and have the rights to vote for their own house and things like that. And women should have rights, but I don't believe in all of it. I don't, I understand that it's difficult because a lot of women now, they're throwing themselves into owning their own businesses, owning their own things. But that doesn't make them feminists, I don't think. I think they're just trying to carve their way and be the best they can be. Because obviously, not most people, but some people have breakups of relationships, but they still want to carry on their lifestyle. And so they should do. And so, it's all about the man and whether they can provide, which is fine. But I think it's important for women in this generation, in this age, to have their own things as well. So I don't believe in...
I don't think the male provider dynamic exists anymore anyway.
No.
There's no household really, or two-person household like man and woman, where both parties are not contributing financially in some sort of way.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of feminism, I believe there were great benefits to it, that we have, as women, we have more freedom. We're able to own our property, vote, and have other rights. So I think there's benefits to it. Without that, our lives would be completely different. However, just because you align with a philosophy doesn't mean that you're going to believe in every part of that philosophy. And even in one philosophy or one school of thought, there's many strands. Like, people go in different ways.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't like the way that we're going, because I feel like femininity has been pushed to the background. And we're all aspiring to be quite masculine, I feel.
I 100% agree with you.
So I do have a problem with that. But I also have the problem with the idea that as a woman these days, you're expected to do everything. And that's just impossible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You're expected to work full-time and contribute, yet you're still expected to do most of the childcare and the housework. There's very few families where I see equality in terms of housework and things like that. I remember I was working with a teacher, and she was on maternity leave, and we had to immediately grade papers because I think there was going to be Ofsted or something, and we had to grade these papers. So I went to her house to do it. She just given birth like a month ago. She had her baby in her arms. She was checking on dinner, and she was looking after her mother-in-law who had Alzheimer's and helping me grade these papers. And I was like, oh, where's your husband? He's in the room watching TV. How is this what we really worked towards? Is this to me, that's not much better than the 1940s housewife.
That doesn't at all surprise me, because men have, not all, but some men have this preconceived idea that, like I was saying before, if they help out with cooking dinner or hoovering or doing the washing up, somehow that makes them more effeminate and more feminine, and that's a negative. So they want to stray away from being that.
But that's how you learn to handle your household. When your woman has to go to work, when your woman has to go away on business or whatever, they have to know how to be at home, and that's home training.
They don't care. They don't care at all.
So they want you to work now, added to the list, to the other household things you were doing anyway. So they moan about feminism, but I think feminism benefits men, because now they don't have to do anything.
And we have to either ascribe to it or not, because what else can you do? So we have to go into dating wise, we have to go into it with that mindset, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I'm getting comfortable with the idea of just having cats and being on my own. I know that's supposed to be the nightmare hell for women, but to me that's like a really good life actually. And I feel most stable when I'm alone actually. When I'm dating, I feel like my emotions are up and down. And I feel happier when I'm alone. So I'm kind of trying to get more comfortable with the idea. It's just other people's expectations make you feel, oh, so-and-so's getting married. Oh, so-and-so's having a baby. What am I doing? But I'm just trying to get more comfortable with being alone, because I feel like that's where we're heading, especially for women who see what's going on and they have higher expectations. And also, it's a bit of a comfort, I guess. Like the people who got married in their 20s and stuff like that, a lot of them now are the ones who got their divorces coming up. So I'm like, well, at least I didn't make any mistakes like that. And then some of the men I talked to online, they divorced already and you're in your 30s. So
I'm open to perhaps being in a relationship with someone again. But the only way for me I can see myself being in a relationship long term is if that person fits into my life already, like fits into how my life is. I'm not willing now at my age to bend over backwards and to kind of not compromise. I mean, I will compromise in certain things, but I'm not going to start molding my life around someone. Either you fit into what's happening over here or you don't. And that's just it. And if I find that person great, if I don't, I'm comfortable in the fact that I may just be alone. And I'm happy with that. I'm okay with it. It doesn't fill me with dread, or I'm not terrified about it. And I think it's because I've had a child already and I've already been in a long-term relationship. I mean, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything by not being in a long-term relationship or being with someone, because I've already done it already.
Me too, yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it happens on my terms, great. And if it doesn't, okay, well, I'm happy watching my programs and going on holiday when I want to and enjoying my life without any stress or worrying about who's cheating on me or who's doing this or no.
Do you think you'll ever settle?
No. I am done with trying to.
The only thing that scares me is because I've not had a long-term relationship, and that's what scares me. I don't want people to look at me in a certain light.
Are you more concerned about what people think, or is it how you feel about it? Do you, because here's the thing, if you really don't care about being in a long-term relationship, then F everyone else and what anyone else thinks about it. If you don't care, if it's something that you don't care about, then so what if people are going to think it? People are going to think, even if you meet someone and you're in a long-term relationship, there are people that are going to have something to say about it. So it's, how do you feel about the situation? Is it something that you want for yourself?
I would like, but I'm getting to this age now where I would like it, but I'm getting to this age now where I'm in two minds. Do I just enjoy my rest of my holidays and I enjoy my friends' kids and go on holiday and do what I've got to do in my life, or am I concerned that I will miss that kind of experience of having a child, having a long-term husband and doing things with my husband and doing things with my child? I just don't know, but I can't see from now. I mean, what will happen, but
are your conditions for having a child that you have to be married or you have to be in a relationship with someone for you to have a child?
I would prefer to be in a relationship with someone, because I just think it's hard to raise a child on your own.
It's hard, but not impossible.
But I don't want to be. I don't know if I want to be in that situation.
So yeah, dating in our 30s. What do you think about it? It's crap.
It's a hellhole.
It's a hellhole. It's a jungle out there.
It's terrible. Like, I'm so shocked. I just came out of a long-term 12-year relationship. I've been dating for the past 3 years, and I never knew it was this bad. It's just horrendous.
It's so hard.
Well, I did warn you.
It's just so bad.
It is hard.
Very hard.
It's literally a jungle.
I see men more as annoying little bugs that repeat the same lines over again. Like, they say, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just about to have a shower." Oh, I wonder what they're gonna say next. Ooh, wish I was there.
So predictable.
You say, "Oh, I'm about to go to bed." Oh, can I join you?
Or what you're wearing and all that. They think it's smutty and funny.
It's not funny.
Isn't.
It sounds like a 15-year-old boy.
Oh,
it's not
just
funny.
So I just like, that's never gonna get you anywhere. But yeah.
So that's dating in our 30s.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Crap. Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to the CANA Girls podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did. Be sure to check out our next episode and follow us on Instagram at the CANA Girls.